Hi guys, hope you are all doing well. I'm pretty sure we all have something like this at home. Shakers for salt, pepper, chilies and other stuff. I think on the table this looks a little bit boring. I want to make kind of a pro, more luxurious version of this. I think it's going to be interesting project. So let's start. This piece of wood I bought from our local shop. This wood is called Akazie, some kind of hard wood, 80 millimeters thick. For this build I needed under half of it and the whole board cost me under 30 francs. This board is oiled and as we all know, wood glue doesn't stick very well to oiled surface. So first I have to get rid of this oiled layer. I started with shakers and for those I needed 3 about 5 centimeter wide slices of wood. Those wood I glued all together to make one big block. Wood glue, what I used here, it's called Titebond III. It's waterproof and food safe. I actually used the last what I had left to glue this block. The rest of the project I had to use Titebond II, which is also food safe, but it's only water resistant. It doesn't matter, I can anyway wash these things with water, no problem. I've seen many videos in YouTube where big boys are using bandsaw to cut thicker boards to thinner slices. And that's what I'm also going to try. It went okay, it wasn't 100%. This middle part was thicker than the end and the beginning. Only way to fix that was to use my thickness planer. And that worked pretty good. Sanding is something that I'm not going to show you much. You just have to believe me, there's lots of sanding. For these shakers it was a little bit tricky to think about it, how I will do it. How can I get lots of stuff inside and only a small amount of stuff outside? I came up with this kind of solution that I cut it a small slice out of this block. The smaller piece, I drilled smaller holes where the stuff is coming out, different size of holes for salt, pepper, chili. And to this bigger piece, I drilled a bigger hole, and this I can use as a container for the spices. To the bottom of this piece, I drilled a smaller hole, which I can use to add spices inside, and I can close it using this kind of cork. Before I glued back the smaller part, I added a layer of food-safe wood butter inside this container. And like many other steps in this build, I wasn't planning to do this cut, but I was thinking that this base doesn't have to be this big. It can be smaller, it will stand fine, it won't fall down. It will just take a little bit less space from the table, and I think it actually looks better like this. Finally, my favorite part, the finish. This oil is made for surfaces in the kitchen or in the toilet. So it's basically food safe oil when it's fully cured. In this case, of course, it doesn't matter that much. This oil is also clear, so it won't give any other color to this wood. It will just pop up the original color of this wood, which I really like. I'm trying to follow these instructions. First layer, after 30 minutes, I will wipe off the excess material. Then I will let it dry for 12 hours. A second layer, after 30 minutes, I will wipe off the excess material. And then I will let it dry for 24 hours. I have to say this looks pretty good. I really love this color of this wood with the oil. It looks just beautiful. Few things I had to change a little bit. For example, this salt shaker. I drilled 4 holes here, but I think it was a little bit too much for salt, so I blocked 2 of those holes. Same thing with this pepper shaker. I drilled 5 holes and I think it was too much, so I blocked 2 of those holes. Chili, there's only 1 hole and that's perfect. This piece, I didn't want to make any kind of a bottom, and I wanted that I can take it away, because then this whole thing is much easier to clean. I wanted that it's a little bit tight here, so you really have to press it here. I can easily have here 6, 8, 10 pairs of forks and knives, and this won't fall down. These are of course a little bit smaller. It's not a tight fit, which is only a good thing, because these should be easy to take off and easy to put back, like so. It will stay here in our home, in our table. It's one of a kind piece and I really like it. Speaking of our table, this IKEA table I don't like. First of all, for us it's a little bit too small. I just don't like it. So that means only one thing, a new table. I have some crazy ideas about that. If you haven't already, subscribe my channel. I'm sure you want to see me build a new table. It's going to be a challenge for me because of my small workshop. I can do it. Can I do it as I planned? That we will see.